Ever since I was a little girl, I was enchanted by the idea of an old-fashioned Christmas. My favorite stories were all of the old ones, where families gathered around the table feasting upon roast goose and plum pudding, hand-knit stockings hung by the fire, and decorations were made with the gifts of nature. There is something magical about creating holiday traditions when the world has become cold and dark. I wrote this in a blog post 4 years ago, but I still feel the same way today. My family didn't have many holiday traditions while I was growing up. It was often just me and my parents. There weren't large family gatherings. So many things were never shared or simply lost over time. I often feel like I'm starting over from scratch. Maybe that's why I love old cookbooks so much. They're like a window to a past that I never had anyone explain to me. And I don't think that any of this is bad. I had a wonderful childhood, and it always felt magical at Christmas time. One of the reasons that I gravitate towards trying things the old-fashioned way is because of the nostalgic feelings that it brings me. But it's a nostalgia that I never experienced firsthand. Why is it that this time of year we yearn for these seasonal traditions? I woke up and thought I would make cinnamon rolls, but I love making it into a star shape for the holidays. It's really festive and fun. I love cozy winter mornings like this. I feel motivated to get started prepping for the holidays and decorating, pulling out the boxes of old ornaments. This year, I'm really looking forward to snow. It hasn't snowed here yet. It usually doesn't until actually closer to Christmas or even into early January. I'm looking forward to snowshoeing or cross-country skiing, and I'd love to cook over the fire outside, but it's really nice to be able to have the fire in here too. I've never had a hearth before, and I feel like I've entered into one of my childhood fantasies. It just feels so magical. I wish that everybody could experience bringing their childhood fantasies to life. I think the root of the cause for me, why I enjoy old-fashioned things, it was such a draw for me as a child, and it's just deep in my being. I guess it's my special interest. Being able to, I guess, play as an adult is satisfying. I love this cinnamon star bread as a Christmas morning breakfast or afternoon winter treat. It's really easy to make if you've ever made cinnamon rolls before. You're simply shaping the bread a little differently. This recipe is from my cookbook, but you can also find a similar recipe for cinnamon rolls on my blog. It can be a lot of work to create magical meals for our families during the holidays, but it's something that I absolutely love doing. I did not always love cooking or baking. I started teaching myself how to cook when I was pregnant with my oldest child, who is now 9. I think that there can be a lot of magic in a memorable meal. So I spend a lot of time adding special touches to ours during the holidays. For someone else, you might find that more of your heart is focused on decorations, or gift giving, or playing games together, or going out to the shops and looking at Christmas lights. I think anywhere that you can add a little whimsy to your time here is a good thing for you and for those around you. So the chickens that we got over the spring and summer just started laying their first eggs about maybe 2 weeks ago. They're kind of interesting because they're really small. They're called pullet eggs. A young female chicken is called pullet. So these eggs are a lot smaller. They'll continue to get bigger as the chickens get older and they mature more. They're kind of like a teenage chicken egg, I guess you could say. And some people call them a fairy egg because of how tiny they are. It's been really nice to have eggs again. It's been a long time since we've had eggs that we didn't have to buy. It'll be nice when these get to be a bigger size. You have to eat about 2 eggs, I feel like, for the equivalent of 1. With all of this talk of traditions, I'm realizing that I've somehow managed to create my own over the last 8 years that I've lived on this farm. Every winter, I find myself wandering out to the fields to forage for evergreens to decorate our house. I have yet to tire of drying oranges and making salt dough ornaments to use as decorations. These small tokens of nature have symbolism that goes back to early pagan rituals celebrating the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. Evergreens symbolize perseverance, the desire to continue on when the rest of the world is preparing for its long winter rest. Wow. It's nice to hear the birds. It's been a while. It's been really rainy here for the last few days. Last week, I guess. I'm actually not sure what type of trees these are. I think one of them has the juniper berries. Know a whole lot about trees. I'm more of a vegetable person. Yeah, I didn't really think through the part of having to carry all of this back. I had a romanticized view of what that was going to look like, but now I have to actually carry these back to the farm, which is about a mile walk, so it's not too bad. But yeah, I guess it's just making me think that with a lot of the things that I do that are harder, I don't really always have a solid plan for it, and I think that can make it maybe more exciting for me. I just love trying things that are inconvenient. I don't know. I don't think that there's anything wrong with convenience. There's a lot of convenient things that I love and I appreciate. I don't necessarily think living an old-fashioned lifestyle is the best way or the right way or anything like that. I don't know. I tend to love doing things that are not convenient. I can't think of a better way to say it. It's old and traditional. I'm not necessarily in it for the tradition. I just want to try it. I want to see if I can do it. I guess that's more can I push myself to do something that people used to do? They're kind of pokey. So we'll see how carrying them back goes. When I look back on my childhood and the few traditions that my parents did make for me, I am beginning to understand that the inconsistencies come from being an undiagnosed neurodivergent person. Now that I am diagnosed with ADHD and autism, I feel like I can give myself a bit of grace about being inconsistent. There's a constant battle going on internally where I desperately want and need routine, but I unintentionally forget to prepare for those routines. This is my first year being on medication for my ADHD, and for me it has made a world of difference, and I feel so much less stressed that I forgot to do something, or I'm just more prepared ahead of time. I really feel at ease this Christmas. As we were sitting down for Thanksgiving dinner, I realized that it was the first time I had ever calmly cooked that meal, which I absolutely love making. Thanksgiving is my favorite for obvious reasons, but I didn't feel like I was going back and forth, running around like a chicken with its head cut off, physically and internally. I just made my way through my list, and it was all ready on time, and honestly, for the first time ever, I didn't have any mistakes. But why are traditions so important? There is a part of me that believes traditions are meant to be changed, that we can continue to grow when the old things no longer suit us. But I do believe they are important because they provide a sense of belonging to something, to a family, which is a big deal. And it can be your found family. Sharing these moments with the people we love, I think especially found family, can strengthen your sense of belonging to something that is bigger than yourself. While I have cooked over an open fire many times, as well as in a hearth, I have not had any experience cooking in a wood-fired oven. I am hoping to learn more about how this process works, but it's been a bit difficult as there isn't much information available on how to do this other than cooking in a modern pizza oven. It's my hope that eventually, as I learn more about cooking this way, I can share this information with others like you so that it doesn't become a forgotten art. Making salt dough ornaments was the perfect way for me to test out this oven's capabilities. One tradition that my mom and I started about 10 years ago was making handmade ornaments. We started this tradition because my family and I had moved across the country from Illinois to Texas, and in the process we decided to get rid of a majority of our things so that we did not have to move them with us. When we celebrated our first Christmas in Texas, we didn't have any decorations other than a few sentimental ornaments. And my mom had the idea to spend our evenings making ornaments to pass the time. It was one of my favorite Christmases because we took the entire month to decorate that tree, and in the process spent a lot of time watching movies, drinking hot cocoa, eating cookies, and talking. It was a really nice way to celebrate the season at a slow pace, when in the past the holidays had always been rushed and overwhelming. And one of my favorite traditions is a new one that I started 2 years ago, making a Christmas cookie box to share with you. I adore creating the collections of cookies and sharing the recipes on my blog. Putting the themes together is one of my favorite parts, and then it's so fulfilling to see the completed box. Last year, my cookie box was inspired by cookies from my ancestral heritage with Swedish, English, and Polish cookies. This year, I felt really drawn to the color red for some reason. By finding a common theme, I think that this can be such a creative way to bring your own personal style into your baking. You could make a box full of cookies from the 1800s, or choose a selection of cookies that you think would be suitable for a holiday party at Bag End. If you would like to see this year's cookie box or try any of my recipes from years past, you can find them linked in the description below. I am feeling full of gratitude this year for so many things, for old traditions and creating new ones, for the friends I've made this year, for the beauty of the world and all of the things that there are to learn and to try. I am also feeling thankful for you, for watching my videos and making me feel less alone in the world. It has been 1 full year on YouTube now, and it has taught me a lot about myself and my art, and provided me with income to make so many of the dreams that I've had a reality. I had a lot of fun creating the videos I made this past year, but I can feel on my heart that it is time for a new chapter of creating. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. I hope that your kitchen is full of the sounds and smells of the holidays. I love you, and I will see you soon.